G'day, I'm Darren, and mate, do I love hunting wild game. In this country, we're spoilt for choice, so let's go and see what we can get.
It's important to remember that the quality and safety of wild game is directly related to how well you look after it in the field and at home. This DVD will provide you with helpful information on keeping your meat safe for you, your friends and family to enjoy.
First up, let's take a look at the main risks that surround wild game hunting that could get in the way of you having a good time, a good hunt and a good feed.
There are two main food safety risks that hunters face from wild game. The first is bacterial contamination, which is usually the result of external wounds or sores on the animal. Contamination during field dressing, especially if the gut is punctured, and or poor handling after dressing. The second risk is chemical contamination. This may be caused by the animal eating poison baits used to control possums or other vermin, wild pig that has been scavenging on poisoned carcasses, or exposing the carcass to chemicals like transporting the carcass in a vehicle that has been used to carry weed killer or fuel. These can be easily reduced by planning your hunt.
Planning a good hunt is more than just grabbing your rifle and heading into the hills. Here's a few key points that you should check before you go.
When planning a hunt, you should firstly find out if poisons have been laid in the area where you'll be hunting. If you intend to hunt on private land, talk to the landowner or manager about what poisons have been used in the area and when. If hunting on public land, contact and check with the local Department of Conservation Office and or the regional council. For information about poison use on DOC managed land, you can also visit the DOC website www.doc.govt.nz. Commercial pig hunting is prohibited in the Marlborough Sounds because many pigs in this area contain high levels of poison residues. It's recommended that recreational hunters also avoid taking wild pigs from this area. A good knife is essential. Make sure your knife is clean and sharp before heading off into the bush. Pack muslin cloth or a carcass bag to protect the meat from flies, dirt and anything else you don't want to end up eating. Alcohol-based hand cleaner is useful for sanitizing your hands.
A lot of my mates laugh about the hand cleaner, but mate, it really works.
It's difficult to tell if an animal is fit to eat before taking that shot, but in some cases you may be able to observe the general condition and behavior of the animal. Is it moving easily? Does it look injured? Is it too skinny despite having plenty of feed around? The best place to shoot an animal is in the head or forequarter. This helps ensure a quick kill and reduces the risk of puncturing the gut and contaminating the meat. Once you've made your kill and are ready to field dress it, there are a few things to remember in order to get the best out of your meat.
Look over it, it's in really good condition.
Check the animal for general condition: wounds, sores, pus, broken bones and the bullet entry point.
This will be a really good eater.
Unless you make a decision straight away that it's not worth continuing to dress the animal, just keep its general condition in mind as you proceed to gut it. Ensure the knife and hands are clean before gutting. If you haven't got water available, antibacterial wipes or alcohol-based hand cleaner are good alternatives. And remember to pack out what you pack in. Remember to wash your knife and hands while gutting, especially if you puncture the gut. Don't wipe the blade on your pants or on the ground. And don't use the same old rag from the last hunting trip. Bleeding the animal will assist in cooling the carcass.
Field dressing is important because this is the first step to good quality eating meat.
If you have shot a stag, the first thing to do is remove the pizzle, testes and scent glands to avoid tainting the meat. Cut around the anus to free the anal tract. When opening the gut cavity, use your fingers to prevent the knife puncturing the gut by placing them under the blunt side of the knife as you run the knife down the belly of the animal.
Take your time because this is a delicate part.
This is where a specialised gutting knife can be useful. Once you open the gut cavity, you can then pull the anal tract out and away from the carcass before removing the rest of the gut and internal organs. This reduces the risk of contaminating the carcass with fecal matter. It's critical to avoid puncturing the gut when gutting the animal, as this will contaminate the meat with bacteria, and if you puncture the bladder, this will also ruin the meat. Removing the gut and organs quickly helps cool the carcass. Check the organs and meat carefully for signs of disease. Make sure they are the right size and colour and are free of abscesses, cysts and/or pus. If they look swollen or infected, the animal may not be safe to eat. The heart is usually safe to eat. Never eat the liver or kidneys, and don't feed them to your pets, as these organs concentrate poisons. Discard the waste away from rivers, tracks and huts. Don't wash the carcass, as this risks spreading any contamination already on it. Leave the skin on where possible. It protects your meat from contamination. It's important to keep the meat as cool and dry and clean as possible. Hang carcasses well out of the sun and off the ground. If you decide to take cuts from the carcass while in the bush, use the skin as a mat to protect the meat. Hairy side down. Use a clean knife. And once you have taken your cuts, wrap them well in clean muslin cloth before placing them in your pack.
After a long day in the bush, there's nothing like a good feed of wild game while you're still out here. But there's a couple of things to remember.
Always wash and dry hands thoroughly before and after handling raw meat. Always use clean utensils, knives and chopping boards when preparing food. If you're away hunting over several days and you shoot an animal early in the hunt, it's best to eat it immediately. It may not last until you can get it home unless the weather is very cold. Try to prepare meals fresh each day. Bacteria multiply happily in unrefrigerated leftovers. Cook thoroughly and eat while still hot.